Yes, that's how it goes.
Yep.
At any rate, these players are ready. Acheron Waste is the map. We are jumping into the game.
Well, it's a good thing we're ready. All right. You weren't kidding.
About what? Oh.
Jumping into the game.
All right. I hope you all had a good lunch break. We sure did.
Yes, indeed. In the lower right-hand corner, wearing the pink command center, will be our Terran player. His name is HBOL.
And in the top left corner, playing the Zerg race and wearing the color red, having a little bit difficulty with the allies versus all chat, it is Wrathbringer.
Got to make sure that GLHF gets out there to everyone.
Yep.
Oh, and some nice friendly back and forth. You too have fun.
I believe they shall.
And have luck.
That is, the goal of the game ultimately is to have fun.
Yep, so we're going to have first TVZ of the day, which will be we've talked to several of the players, and it seems like most of the Zerg think that TVZ is impossible. What do you think?
Well, it sounds like, Spider Slayer had said that. I personally have some hard times with Terran, but, in the tournament play, it's hard to tell. It seems like in the meta, Artosis recently had a pretty good write-up on why there were so few Zergs in the most recent WCSs, or finals. And it was a really good write-up, but mostly saying, in a polite way that Zergs, in certain regions didn't really have a right to get there anyway based on the player pool. But the ones that they did, they did come up against some difficult opponents. Specifically, they mentioned Hellbats, I think, in that. So there's definitely some concerns that need to be addressed at some point, but you never know. At the end of the day, they do say that you can't really blame the game too much. You've just got to rise above the game. You've got to play beyond the game, is what I've heard.
I've always believed that to a certain extent, as far as being broken or imbalanced or whatever. If you're really a top tier player and you know what those weaknesses and strengths are, you're going to be able to adapt to it. It might change the statistic by a percentage or two overall, but I'm curious to see what we see here, though. A drone was checking out HBOL's base. He saw that command center going down, so he knows it's going to be an in-base expand, maybe to pump up the SCVs a little quicker. Yeah, that was a command center first, so both players are playing the economic opening here. Yep, and we do have a nice stage set up here, too, so it's been cool to see that StarCraft has been featured here at this conference as a stage-worthy event, so that's been exciting. The people here have been nice. It's been a great experience. We recommend you come out at some point if possible. Absolutely, and don't forget to check out the Extra Life campaign that is going on. They are raising some money for kids in need, and there's many streams going on. Multiple of them are even at Youmacon this weekend. So definitely check those out. If you're feeling generous, toss a few coins at them so that they can help out the charity. That would be really cool. Command Center finishes barracks done. Second gas going down for HBOL. Wrathbringer starting to get gas. He just started his first extractor. It looks like he's only going to be, he'll be happy on one for now, as he's going to continue to drone and make a couple Zerglings. Yeah, we've seen third base quite a bit. Spider Slayer's been a Zerg that we've seen a decent amount today, and definitely, the three base play has been pretty interesting. But against Terran, the ability, basically the mobility of Terran is what the Zergs have been saying has been hard to deal with. So maybe expanding out so much we won't see as much against Terran, as they can exploit that a little bit more possibly. It all remains to be seen. It looks like HBOL does have a Marine on a patrol trying to nip that Overlord in the bud, and there it is to start doing some damage. While that Marine is busy, two Zerglings come up and take a couple swipes at the supply depot, hoping maybe that SCV over here was a little more exposed, but alas, he was not. But he does get trapped outside after that supply depot finishes, so that wall has to be lowered to allow him back inside. Factory finishes Starport quickly. Oh, that's I'm sorry. Actually, another factory underway. I just assumed before clicking it. So double factory. So we're going to see some mech out of Terran. And that might catch Wrathbringer off guard a little bit at the moment. I don't think he has any way of seeing that right now. And he's definitely not preparing for it. He's getting the speed on his Lings, but mostly just playing economically at the moment, trying to expand his economic
advantage as having map control.
It looks like Wrathbringer is really trying to get the creep going here. He's got 2 queens out front devoted to creep. So, and this is also with the 2 Hellbats on the field, 2 more to follow. Hellbats, Hellions. It's been fairly common that the Terrans just try and keep the creep spread back with those Hellions as they get out there. So he's trying to get ahead of the game. He's got 3 and 4 creep tumors going here, so he's going to get creep going quite quickly and maybe even cause Terran to want to spend a scan rather than a mule.
And those queens are at the front there. They're going to be able to thwart off any Hellions that decide to get a little too cheeky and chase them away. But they, with these Zerglings right up there, they might get a few passes on those.
Yeah, with this Overlord coming into HBOL's base, he does see 2 factories, and he does see the tech lab on that factory researching Blue Flame. So he is going to know what's coming, and he is trying to make a wall here. He's putting down 2 evolution chambers, although that creep tumor is not going to be able to let him wall off completely, as that's going to stop him from building one there. Ling's going to come out, but they're going to try and do their best against these Hellions.
And just stringing those along, lining them up. So many Zergling kills here. I mean, he lost one of his Hellions, but a lot of Lings got killed. And doing a great job of staying away from those queens, engaging the Lings off creep. That was a very good engagement for him.
Yeah, he did really hug those Hellions along the rocks here around the edge to not allow those Zerglings to get any kind of surround. But look at the creep here. I mean, he is going absolutely bonkers with this creep.
And I mean, that's great strategy. He's going to get the vision. He's going to get the speed advantage. It's going to make Terran not able to engage as close to the bases as he would like to engage. So that's going to push that back a bit. But there is a decent number of Hellions lining up here. We got 10 sitting down at the base of HBOL's ramp.
Yeah, Blue Flame is done. A Viking is on the way as well to clean up any Overlords that may be hanging around. That starport does not have any add-ons, just making the single Viking to do some Overlord sweeping, but that is a lot of Hellions.
It really is, and with that kind of number, you can start killing queens, you can start harassing buildings, you can do a lot of damage.
I have a feeling he's going to be using some scans here to try and clean up these creep tumors because the creep is getting out of control.
Well, I think he might just run in here. I mean, he's got Blue Flame, and all that's on the field at the moment are Lings.
Yeah, I'm wondering what, he's got centrifugal hooks coming down for Banelings, but Banelings still not going to be so good against this many Blue Flame Hellions, and all the drones get roasted here lining up against those Hellions.
Great block off there on those drones, preventing them from escaping, and the Hellions are just, they don't even care about that queen. They're just going straight for all the drones.
Sorry, I just realized the game sounds were off there.
Whoops.
So got that taken care of now.
Great job by Wrathbringer by putting down these evolution chambers to try and wall him out. It was fairly successful, now trying to get a surround with these Lings. They're moving in, get a few kills. The
nice
count is down to 7 rather. But they are just all getting roasted, and these Hellions have been very effective, very cost effective.
That Viking here is on an attack patrol around the outside, looking to see what it can get done. All the Hellions trying to shoot down this queen. The queen doing its best, but alas, still is going to fall. More Hellions following back. Mines in production as well, too. So we're going to see some Hellions. Really, all he has is Hellions and mines so far, putting down a 3rd command center as well.
And the Roach Warren is only just now going down. I have to question that decision as to why it didn't get done sooner, as these Hellions are just destroying, completely taking over map control. Granted, he hasn't gotten a lot of these creep tumors down.
Yeah, he did clear out all the drones at this 3rd base, so economy has been a bit of an issue. HBOL is sitting on a nice little bank here, while as Wrathbringer is still struggling to keep money in the bank.
Well, absolutely. If you look at the units lost tab, it's 900 units lost for HBOL compared to the 3,500 of his opponent. It's just staggering.
It really is. I don't know what else to say other than it's a build order problem.
And well, now there's a Viking in Wrathbringer's base just taking care of these Overlords, and there's no queens really to deal with the Viking. There's one that's coming down now, and that queen or that Viking could just land if it chose to. I don't think he's actually paying attention to that, rather than microing those Hellions, which have chosen to destroy a hatchery of all things. But in those numbers, why not?
Yeah, he hasn't really had to make much more than the Hellions. He does have Bio and Stim coming down behind it, as well as a 4th command center coming down, but he hasn't spread those out yet. But now there are roaches on the field, but these Hellions still just tearing up all these drones. I just think that possibly Wrathbringer was not prepared for this, as he was going for a lot of Lings with a lot of Banelings, so he's probably expecting a lot more Bio.
And now the roaches are up, and they are going to be cleaning out those Hellions. Honestly, Wrathbringer needed those roaches way earlier in this match. But HBOL has to be feeling pretty good about where he's sitting right now.
Yeah, now moving out a few mines and a Hellion at the front, while Wrathbringer has a little bit of time to attempt to stabilize. If we look at the units, it is 23 drones to 44 SCVs, and that's rough.
Absolutely, and I mean, workers killed, he's killed 30.
Yeah, not to mention also the fact that there's so many orbital commands right now. There's going to be 4 very shortly, and now a starport with reactors pumping out double medevacs, all the Marines coming out of the barracks. So he's going to be following up with a real strong bio push and drops eventually. And you know, he's just trying to get to a position where he can get some economy going.
And I mean, he's sitting very well at the moment. I mean, all these Marines coming out, and his opponent, you know, is just strapped. Well, actually, no, he's got a decent amount of minerals, but his drone count is fairly low, so he's...
Yeah, but he's having to spend all the minerals on drones. 13 now just in production as some larva pop, and he lost a lot of queens there too, so he's down on larva production as well. The two of the 4 hatcheries do not have a queen associated with them.
Yeah, and at this point, you just really have to prioritize where those minerals are going. That queen is working overtime, just spending all the excess energy. But there is a drop gearing up here. HBOL is going down to the southern side of the map with 2 medevacs, and will be going up back into that third.
Wrathbringer does have a roach down at the third base to spot this command center coming in out. See that the Marines are tearing down the rocks. He's just going to park that right underneath, which will delay it for a minute or so. Looks like he may have forgotten about these medevacs a little bit as they're just kind of hanging out down in the corner. More second huge wave of drones in production. He's not going to be able to do this forever because there's actual units on the field of Terran that he's going to have to get back in the swing. 22 drones now, so he's definitely trying to catch back up. It's 65 net drones down to 56, so he has gotten back ahead, but now he really needs to start making units.
Yeah, if you start looking at the Army values, it's quite in favor of HBOL in about twice the number of Army supply. So that is going to become an issue if he's not careful, and you know, and here come those drops. So he's not going to waste any more time. He's going to come on in and start killing some of those drones that were freshly made. 2
mines also set themselves in the middle of the map to stop any counter drops. Drones are going to pull back as this is a lot of Marines coming out of here. They do have shields, they do have stim, and they're going to do quite a bit of damage here. These roaches are going to come in, and he's just going to load them back up most likely. And there he goes. And now he's going to take advantage. Oh, but he does have more roaches available here to pick off these Marines as they're dropped. Great play by Wrathbringer, as he's now, you know, starting to circumvent what his opponent's doing to try and get himself back into this. So this was not all that successful for HBOL.
It looks like Wrathbringer is feeling fairly confident in his ability to deal with drops, as evidenced by that defense. But now, just coming up the middle, mines, Marines, medevacs, he's just going for a pretty big push. There's already a good number of mines burrowed, and that's going to make trying to defend this pretty difficult.
Yeah, he's just doing a bulk of these mines up the middle, and here come the Marines to take out the creep tumors as they come up. But if these roaches pursue these Marines, they're going to be walked right straight on back through a minefield. Scans going down to see what's coming. Here come the roaches as well as overseers.
And there's stim, and those roaches do not have very good positioning, but the Marines are just going to run right back through and get all those mine hits.
Roach is standing up quite nicely with these Marines, as he does have a huge upgrade advantage. It is 2-2-2 for both melee and ranged attacks. Burrowing down, but the scan does go down, so he's going to pick off a couple more roaches. But there are still a decent number of Marines left, so he's going to have more roaches spawn, which is what happens.
Yes. Near hatcheries, you do tend to get more, but I mean, all these mines are still in the center of the map, and he's just happy to keep his roaches in the middle of them.
The cooldown of the mines is going off, so now the roaches are going to take big hits in these mines. 2 more down here. And
oh no, that was huge!
Oh, these roaches are going to be completely cleaned up just by the mines that are hanging out in the middle of the map. There's a full medevac here above the right side of the main base, which is now going to get on the move. A lot of drones mining off of a single patch in the main. These Marines are going to come down and see what they can do as...
and when they're all bunched up like that, it's going to be really easy to get a lot of kills. Yeah. And sure enough, he's going to stim forward. That they're still mining from that single patch, and here they go.
Especially depending on the reaction time of Wrathbringer.
And he was busy trying to clean up those minefields, so this is a lot of drones that he's losing. Oh, and targeting down the spawning pool, that's more of an annoyance at this point, as he's focused primarily on roaches.
Yeah, he really needs to get some banelings and hydras or something down to be able to deal with these drops and medevacs. But he does clean it up before the spawning pool goes down, so that's a good thing that will start to heal itself. But the medevacs are still left behind A lot of roaches in production. 16 roaches, 4 lings with Infestation Pit and Spire coming down.
And Spire's an interesting choice in this situation. I mean, Spire can do a great job of defending against those drops, but with all these mines on the field, you got to be really careful because they will evaporate very quickly.
Oh, and the roach is walking right through the mines again, taking a lot of hits. Marines haven't stimmed yet, but are coming up through the middle and loading back up to avoid the roaches. But if these roaches wander around too much, they will take more mine hits. But
yeah, and they're just parked right on top. Another one's going to go off. Boom. One roach falls, but softens quite a few of them up, and he's really got to take care of these if he doesn't want to lose his whole army.
He does have burrow. He really should be burrowing these right now because the mines can't see the roach while they burrow. That would allow the roaches to heal up completely as well. Does have some creep tumors here that can be spread out, and all the command centers are going to hive as well, Delegation.
Oh, man, he walked right back into those mines again, and he just keeps losing roaches to units that he doesn't have to, and that could make the difference in this game, frankly.
But he's having a hard time right now because his overseers were taken out by those mines when they originally flew out. So he doesn't really have anything at the moment to get him, but 12 more roaches in production, and he could be using that money to tech to something else, but he's not. Just look at the mini map, and HBOL is just starting to take it over. He's got command center after command center going down, sensor towers. So he's going to know exactly what's coming. The Spire did go down, but he's chosen not to use it so far. Curious to see what's going to come out once this hive finishes.
But in the meantime, HBOL has a massive load up that is going across the map. And it looks like Wrathbringer has decided as well that he wants to try and do some aggression instead of just play the defense, which if he gets it moving, he might actually catch HBOL a little bit off guard, but unfortunately that drop is going to be coming in, and now Wrathbringer is going to be out of position to defend against this. This is a lot of units that are about to be dropped here.
Yeah, and Wrathbringer was supply block. A lot of overlords just popping out now, but he's not going to have anything back to defend this, as now the overseers are going to fly right over the Marines.
Yeah, when you keep them all in a controlled group like that, it's easy to forget that the overseers don't have to travel by ground. They can just go where they want. Oh, wow. That was a full medevac that just went down.
Nice 4-crawler placement is able to take out one medevac, but all the units will drop again on the second base as the roaches are kind of getting bound up here a bit in the mineral line. Needs to move them forward a little bit. Only about 3 or 4 roaches able to take shots on those Marines.
Yeah, and HBOL is just loving this engagement. He's getting so many kills, so many more kills than he even should because of the way that those roaches are bunched up. And then they load up again and go straight up. But there are lings and roaches ready, and there's mutalisks there. Yeah. So these medevacs will not be getting out of there. But in the meantime, HBOL again moving up the center of the map. There's another drop coming on the right. There's mines in the center. I mean, Wrathbringer is just being put into a narrower and narrower box.
Yeah, so this third base needs to be canceled right away as it goes down, but HBOL is kind of pulling Wrathbringer in a lot of different directions, and he wanted to get those mutas out, but was not really able to get a whole lot going down. He does have adrenal glands going down at the spawning pool. This hive is going to come into trouble here.
Yeah, and he's going to want to deal with this quickly. And there's the GG.
GG. So that was a game.
Yeah, HBOL just really controlled that game from start to finish. With the beginning with the Hellions.
Yeah,
that's
Hellions,
the word that I was looking for. All the Hellions. I mean, frankly, it wasn't even that many Hellions. It was just he was able to use them effectively, and they were only being dealt with by lings, and HBOL was able to get really good leads on them and line them up and get a lot of kills. So we will see what Wrathbringer. We're currently trying to get the. I'm going to try and get this map choice from Wrathbringer.
I just messaged him to get his map choice. We're going to take a brief break here between matches. We'll be right back in just a minute with game number 2 in this series between HBOL and Wrathbringer.
Stay tuned.